Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the launch of Dictador 2 Masters Ximenez-Spinola. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ken Greer. I'm Associate Creative Director of Dictador, and I'm your co-host for today. I'd like to introduce my other co-host, who is Sylvia Kuleth. Sylvia.
Thank you very much, Ken. It's a great pleasure for me to be here among all of you in this special event. Moreover, in this place I love, Jerez, and especially in this great winery surrounded by all these barrels, this magic, this history, tradition, and love for Pedro Jimenez. My name, as you have said, is Sylvia Kuleth. I am journalist and sommelier and journalist, and I have spent my last 15 years studying and tasting and learning about wines and spirits, and I have been lucky to be part of the Bullipedia team, writing the wine books that forms part of the Ferran Adrià project under the tutelage of my dear colleague Ferran Centellas. So I have enjoyed a lot and learning much more, and I am very happy and very astonished with what we are doing today. We are looking.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. Today is a very exciting day as we increase yet again our portfolio of wonderful collaborations with Dictador 2 Masters. So I think Sylvia's going to take us through a couple of housekeeping points before we commence the proceedings.
Yes, first of all, thank you for joining us today. We are aware that September is a busy month for wine industry. Maybe most of you are in the middle of the harvest, like Ximenez-Spinola, that I know that have ended this harvest these days, no? This week.
Yeah.
But that's why we are very happy to know that you have taken part of your time to join us from the comfort from your home. So I would just say a couple of important things. First of all, a very, very important thing is to mute your microphones. You can ask for questions using the chat box or by raising your hand, and later on we will answer to these questions. And moreover, you should have received a small gift set with a sample of the rum we are going to present. Please have the rum and a glass at hand because later on we will taste it.
I'd just like to introduce the team for today. We're incredibly lucky to have some very knowledgeable and charismatic individuals with us. The first is an absolute rock star in the industry, a fantastically talented man, Hernan Parra, who is master blender for Dictador. Hernan, why don't you just introduce yourself?
Thank you, Ken, and hello everyone. I'm really pleased and very honored that you are having us for the day. As Ken says, my name is Hernan Parra. I am the master blender, third generation of Dictador. I'm very pleased to be here in Jerez in the company of the Jose Antonio's family, and I hope you enjoy today's experience.
And next, I'd like to introduce our host for today, Jose Antonio Zaza, who is the owner and also the mastermind and talent behind these wonderful liquids that lie in the casks that you see in front of us. Jose.
Thank you, Ken. I am Jose Antonio Zarzana. I am the owner and winemaker of Bodega Ximenez-Spinola. We are already in the 9th generation in my family doing this. My company is a specialist in producing Pedro Ximenez. We are the unique specialist in the grape Pedro Ximenez that already exists in the winemaking area of the sherries. And we are full of gratitude, really, to have these wonderful partners to share this project, not only for today, but as well for the year that we have been working before with the room of Dictador. So it's an honor to have you here. I'm sure that you and the people in other parts of the world and we are going to enjoy a lot in this presentation.
Fantastic. I'd like you also to meet Alex Parsons, who's our private client advisor at Dictador. So Alex, just give a quick intro for the folks on the line.
Sure, thank you very much, Ken. As Silvia mentioned, it's an absolute pleasure to be here alongside such talented and experienced individuals across the wine and spirits category as a whole. And I represent Dictador as their fine and rare global private client advisor.
Okay, Alex, thank you. Before we introduce you to the new rum, let us tell you more about this new Dictador 2 Masters series, and there is nobody better to do this than Hernan Parra, the creator of Colombia Dictador and moreover its master blender. Please, Hernan, tell us something about, not something, the whole things about this new step you have taken.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Sylvia. Well, as many of you might been with us before, but I will make just a small introduction of what happened here, is that at Dictador we happen to have a very old stock, very limited quantities, but a very old stock. And once upon a time with my partner, we said what to do to release this very old, to share these very old barrels with the world. And we try not to be as other companies or other products do, just to make a nice bottle, or just to make a nice packaging and send it to the world. We decided to look at further, more interesting and more complex way of showing our products to the world. So we started to think to make not just a finishing of the rum, but involving the second master into the project. So we started to knock doors around the world, and we started to notice that people around the world, like in Cognac with Hardy, in Sauternes with Chateau d'Arche, in Champagne with Leclerc-Lillant, in Bordeaux with the Spagna wines, in Armagnac with Labelle, in Bourbon with Barton 1792, in Tokaji with Royal Tokai, in Porto with Newport, and in Scotland with Glenfarclas Scotch whisky, and today with the Ximenez-Spinola sherry. The idea was to look for companies with similar philosophy and similar standards that we have. And today that we are doing this with sherry, we find out that Ximenez-Spinola was this kind of company that is very similar to us, approaching the market with the high-end products, approaching the market with a family tradition. That is what we are doing. And we find out that this way we can achieve all this passion and all these high-end products to be together, to be able to launch to the world this magnificent product. And just to let you understand, we think that being such a limited and really limited quantities that we have of these products can be and can come a very interesting investment-grade product. So I will let my friend Ken to help me with this, as his experience is very, very large in this area of the
thank you,
investment.
Thank you for flying in all the way from Colombia for this. I always look at Dictador as pioneering the fine and rare rum category, which is a genuine alternative investment opportunity to categories like whiskey and cognac. Now, I'd just like to ask Alex his perspective, because he's out there talking to investors all the time. Alex, what's your perspective on Dictador and the rum category as an alternative investment play?
Sure. So I contact private clients on a day-to-day basis, offering tailored services and solutions, and really focus on these individuals who are investors, collectors, and consumers, and really looking at people who are on the hunt for the next big thing. And I think we can all agree that rum does fit the perfect bill when talking about this. It's also been interesting to see, since joining the company, the different strategies which Dictador have adopted in order to enhance visibility, for example, for these private clients. Talking about press releases, recently with Forbes, 2 weeks ago, they wrote a wonderful article detailing the Two Masters collection, as well as working closely with auction houses, well-established auction houses like Sotheby's. At the beginning of this year, we launched our Dictador Generations on Elite, and it sold for a record price of £30,000. Now, I get the interesting question of the high price points which Dictador have, And when, as a brand, you have the oldest stock of aged rum in the world, and you're combining this with such unique collections, there's no other rum brand really leading the fine and rare the market like Dictador, and therefore we can't compare our price points with any other rum brands, and that's why we like to compare ourselves with top-end whiskey, cognac, and fine wines. And I think it's fair to say, in my opinion, in all of our opinions, it really is a great alternative investment.
It's great. That's a super perspective drawn from conversations with people out in the market. I've worked with the Dictador team for a long time now as their Associate Creative Director, and I'm absolutely of the opinion, having 23 years of working in this category of investment-grade spirits, that we really have everything here, all the hallmarks of what makes a great investment-grade brand. You know, we have outstanding liquid, we have genuine scarcity. For instance, only 390 bottles of this wonderful liquid you're seeing here today for the whole world. We have incredibly authentic and compelling stories. We have great aesthetics. And the thing that I would slightly pull Alex up on is, I think we actually are an incredible bargain. You know, being under €1,000 for a bottle of spirit that was distilled 45 years ago, carefully crafted by Hernan, and now of course with the magical touch of Jose Antonio, I think it's a fantastic opportunity. It's a great product to drink, and you'll do it later on. It's an amazing product to start collecting. And of course, you know, it's an amazing investment grade opportunity. I've seen this brand from the ground floor of building investment grade credentials to we're now on the second floor, and we're en route to becoming a real pantheon in the collectible luxury space for liquor. So I think it's really exciting. But we don't really want to wait any longer. We want to get into what we're talking about today, which is the Dictador 2 Masters Ximenez-Spinola launch. So I think we're going to watch a short video now, and then we'll talk a bit more about the project and importantly do some tasting.
Here we are at the south of Spain, sunny Jerez de la Frontera, and we are in the warehouse of Ximenez-Spinola, and we will do some 2 Masters working today, so follow me please. Hola José Antonio, ¿cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? Bien.
¿Qué ha habido? Qué
Feliz
gusto
de
estar
verte.
aquí.
El gusto es mío, Hernán.
Hombre,
gracias.
Qué bello lugar tienes acá, ¿eh?
Pues más bonito es Colombia.
Muchas gracias. Qué bien.
Muy bien.
Entonces,
me gustaría a ver qué te parece lo que hemos podido hacer.
Perfecto, yo encantado.
Adelante.
Muchas gracias.
I am Jose Antonio Zarzana. I am winemaker. I am the 9th generation in my family in this job. Even I am a lawyer, I dedicate my life to the wines and especially to the wines of my family. We are specialists in Pedro Jimenez wines, unique in Spain and possibly in the world. The company was founded in 1729 by my ancestor Felipe Zarzana-Spinola. He is the person who gave the name to the company. In 1894, we created the brand Ximenez-Spinola with this first label.
Ok, José Antonio, qué bellísima bodega en la que estamos aquí. Por favor, cuéntame en qué estamos acá.
Mira, esto es una parte, estas son 3 andanas de la solera de 1918, que es de Pedro Jimenez fermentado.
Esta es la parte más intrigante de todas. Vamos a probar esto. Hombre, gracias.
Un placer. El color, parte es de la pasa y parte es de la oxidación de los años.
Claro. Intenso color, espectacular. Y entonces, algo tendrá que ver esto con el ron.
What made absolutely different and exclusive our work and our winery is the exclusive dedication to the Pedro Ximenez grapes and to the Pedro Ximenez wines. The distillation of Pedro Ximenez, the expressivity of the distillation, the expressivity of the wines, even it is possible to make vinegars with Pedro Ximenez.
Bueno, José, veo que ya aquí tenemos las barricas con el ron. Cuéntame un poco.
Mira, hemos seleccionado barricas, Hernán, que tienen ese vino que has probado, pero son un envinamiento bastante prolongado. Y luego en los rones tan extraordinarios que nos habéis hecho llegar, hemos puesto el orden preferente de salida.
Okay.
Aquí ha venido al número 1 una barrica de un ron Dictador de 1976. Esto es una cosa que ya siendo buena, aquí lo que hemos hecho es suavizar y matizar aristas que este maravilloso ron tiene por el simple hecho de ser extraordinariamente bueno y extraordinariamente viejo. Esas aristas las iba a tener cualquier producto de una vejez extraordinaria como este. Lo que aporta Ximenez-Spinola, lo que aporta este Pedro Jimenez que hemos probado antes, es simplemente suavizar algo que es consecuencia de lo excelente. We have been very lucky because we received absolutely very old rooms, even some of them from the same year of my birthday. It's incredible to have this jewel in our cellar and these barrels between our barrels. It's an honor and a privilege to work with Ron Dictador.
Pues te cuento que estoy maravillado. Cuéntame un poco más de qué fue lo que finalmente trabajamos aquí.
Aquí nosotros vimos lo que llegó a la bodega fue un ron de extraordinarias características.
Muchas gracias.
Algo desconocido en el mundo del ron y con una vejez extraordinaria. Un ron al que poco hay que hacerle. Fíjate, Hernán, lo que me gusta que hemos notado aquí es la acidez. Una de las cosas que tenemos todos encima como una necesidad para evitar que nuestros productos sean muy pesados es que le falte acidez. Si le falta acidez, esa acidez debe ser la primitiva, la que viene de consecuencia del tartárico o incluso fermentativa. Y nuestro vino la tiene. Y es muy positivo que también la haya adquirido el ron.
And here it is. Here you have the Dictador 2 Masters Ximenez-Spinola. Hernán, José Antonio, how does it feel to finally present to the world this marvelous bottle?
With the permission of Hernán.
Antonio.
In my case, it's a very exciting moment for a few reasons. Mainly for the cultural combination and the relation that we have not only with Hernán, but with all the countries of Latin America. We don't forget that here was the custom of all the products that initially were coming from America. 1 year ago, a marvelous product was arriving one more time. A fantastic product was arriving after hundreds of years of commerce between our lands. This product was an incredible room. And this room was arriving to a house with almost 300 years of tradition, making just Pedro Ximenez in Jerez. Just arriving to my house, the room of Hernán, the room of Dictador, I had two special feelings. First of all, surprise for the quality. Surprise for having a so high quality in a room of a country which is not the traditional country for the production of rum, you know. But possibly it's the best rum I never have been drinking in my life. I never have been smelling this quality, these tannins, you know. As well, the second feeling was responsibility. What can I do with this? How can I manage this? This is unique. This is a jewel as well. I consider my wines like a jewel, but I don't want to disturb the job and the work and the tradition of Hernán family. And sometimes it's very difficult to find the possibilities to increase the quality of something that is perfect already. So finally I discovered that, like always happened with all the very old rooms, very old whiskies, very old brandies, this fantastic room had got a very, very, very high level of sensations. Mainly, and possibly the main one, was the sensation of tannins. Tannins is normal to have when you have 45 years of evolution inside a barrel. Anyway, these 45 years is my age. You know, as well, this is very exciting for somebody to work with an spirit with your same age, coming from the same year when you was born. And then I thought in the people who was going to drink this room. I was thinking in the privileged people, very short number of people, that in all around the world are going to enjoy with this fantastic distillation. And I was thinking that possibly we could be helpful to make smoother these tannins, this quality of tannins, but tannins anyway. And even it is a signal of age and quality, possibly Pedro Ximenez could be helpful to look for the smoother way to find the pleasant moment that everybody is expecting when he's going to open a top quality bottle like this. So today we are finishing this beautiful way. The first step, the second step, and the following steps have been only the previous way to have this bottle on this table and to say not only thank you to Hernan, as well, I want to say thank you to the people who is going to enjoy this product, because you made me possible to have one unique room that I never thought I could have in my hands.
Amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. Hernan,
Yes.
how do you feel? I mean, it's after such a wonderfully impassioned and emotional presentation on how Jose Antonio feels. How do you feel about the project?
Ken, so nice, so big emotions coming to me since since I came into Jerez a few years ago to visit Jose Antonio, to visit his premises, to see the environment, to see the tradition, to see the involvement of his passion into the product. And knowing that the sherry cask has become a star in the finishing of the spirits industry, I was having a lot of expectations coming to my mind. And I remember someone a few months ago asked me a question about which of the Two Masters editions was the best one, the one I loved the most. And I said to him, of course, the first one. He says, so which one was the first one? I said, no, the first one of each category. Which is really the moment that I open every and single Two Masters editions, I am really thrilled. But in this case, coming to Jerez and doing the launching in these moments, it's amazing because I can feel how the cask of the Pedro Ximenez cask elected by Jose Antonio are making a fantastic merge and a fantastic roundness to the product. And I have to say that these big moments, because it's been since we started the Two Masters program, it's always been a very interesting moment to develop the different categories, and that they are all different. And I am really emotional because knowing that it's only 390 bottles that will be available, it's a pure golden euro of liquid going into the bottle. So, of course, these moments of having the Ximenez-Spinola to be our partner was so great, and I will ask our fellow people to try the Ximenez-Spinola sherries. I tried some sherries before, but I never tried such an elegant and such a fullness of a beautiful product. that when you taste it, you notice how deep the passion of the family is into the liquid. And I knew from the beginning, because when I met Jose Antonio, and I did this with all the masters that are today being part of the program, that they should be a real partner into it. Because sometimes they come to me with questions, what should I do, and so on. I said, sorry, my part as a master is finished when the product is delivered to your premises. Then you have a carte blanche. You can do whatever you want with the product. And that involvement makes a real two masters. You know?
Do you know, it's funny, Hernan, because I think Two Masters is a very, very unique project. Because as you say, you make wonderful rum. And I think Jose Antonio says something great. It's how can you improve in perfection? Well, I think Jose Antonio, you've actually done that. Because this wonderful handoff between a superb and rare rum and the way you've carefully rounded, balanced and enhanced it with Pedro Jimenez is amazing. And I've watched the collector's market, move forward with sherry, from the success of Macallan, which now is 42% by value of the Scotch whisky secondary market, to amazing brands like Bowmore, Balvenie, Dalmore, and some of the newer brands like Glenronic, within this Tamdhu. And I think you've hit the zeitgeist of a super product with great sherry.
Well, I agree with you in a few points, but I want to clarify something about the words of Hernan. Hernan says the truth. He told me, you are the second master and you had all the possibilities to make anything. But we cannot
see you in a few months.
Yeah. But we cannot forget something. This master, and even the word master, I think is not the right word, because we are a family of winemakers and we feel winemakers, we are focused in the vineyard, in the wines, but as well, I want to say that you have 44 years, with your spirit. I had a lot of years with my wine, but I only had in my hands your room 1 year. So for me, it could be very impolite to say that we are 50-50 in this matter. Of course, we have been finishing in these barrels your fantastic room, but the character, the quality, and all the essence of the room is coming from your hands. We are only here giving a final, small part of our personality, Hernan. But even for that people who think that when any spirit is very old and has been a lot of years in barrels, and because has been a lot of years in barrels, very old rum and very old whiskey and very old brandy, very old spirits are very similar. In this case, you can see very clearly that it is not true.
But let me make a little comment in here, and I can tell you that always the second master is making a huge work, because if you try any of the other master's editions, you will find how different it is from. Of course, the barrels that I select at the beginning to send to you are different from the others but it's the rum. It's rum coming from same property, from similar barrels. So it's different, but it's not such a difference. But when you try, let's say the Hardy Cognac edition towards the Newport edition, towards the Tokai editions, they are totally different. So it means that the work of the second master is very, very, very important. And as we say in Colombia, there is a 50-50 in this job.
Well, listen, gentlemen, I think we held...
It's the rest of you, my friend. But it's something, it's effective,
I think we've held our audience to a point of anticipation now. Wonderful background to listen to two passionate, knowledgeable people like yourselves. So I can't wait to taste the liquids. So everybody on the call, if you'd like to put liquid in your glasses, if it's not already there, who better to take us through this than Hernan? Hernan, give us your thoughts.
This is glory for me. Thank you so much. So first of all, cheers to everyone. And first of all, I'd like to take a look to the color, which is a very browny and sherry, dark Ximenez involvement and influence in here. deep and with a medium body, held with a nice legs coming down from the glass. But as I always says, medium body for me is the total. Medium is the way. So let's try a little bit in the nose. And immediately I can feel the influence of Ximenez-Spinola, Pedro Ximenez. I can feel a little bit more to the Risens area. This is the dark chocolate coming in the back. Prunes, pranule we were talking earlier today.
And just this kind of manuka honey note and a chili, peppery nose. to
Peppery.
this.
Right, and it's suitable to the nose. It's not that fast alcohol coming into.
Oh, Hernan, I have heard you before talking about Christmas cake inside this glass.
before.
But for me, it's an image that evokes me a lot of things, and I love it. But for me, it's autumn. This hint of almonds.
Definitely.
Surrounded by this familiar aroma that we are here, no?
Yes.
This Pedro Jimenez aroma that is rounding this fantastic room is incredible.
Definitely the Pedro Ximenez is in. And the Ximenez-Spinola family cherries that I've tasted are here with a very nice mellow way of taking the rum and giving them a little bit more roundness and a little bit more smoothness to the product. It's, as I say, my favorite of our first additions. Let's see the second one as soon as possible.
I think. Sorry.
You're just prunes, figs,
Yeah.
this idea of some chili pepper coming through the back, blackstrap vinegar, treacle. You almost talked about a slight balsamic note, which I think is really interesting.
That's
Really
right.
interesting.
That's right.
And moreover, an incredible way to travel without traveling. So you can transport our audience to this fantastic place only through this fantastic nose.
You had a great description for this, the never-ending.
Yeah. That's for me the best part. The best part of this rum for me is the never-ending rum, because I am fascinated about its ending. That for sure helps with this maturation here in Jerez.
Yeah.
And for me this is fantastic, because when a rum, a liquor, wine, it doesn't mind what it longs, it persists, is a fantastic thing. Is something that all the sommeliers and all the oenologists are looking for, to have wines or distillated that spirits that persist.
Jose Antonio, you've obviously said before that Hernan is a master. What he's put together is beautiful, beautiful rum. But you've obviously added a huge amount to this. How do you see this beautiful rum? What are your impressions?
I was going to say that when the room arrives to our house, already the balsamic sensation was inside. So this is not good to have a confusion between the balsamic sensation and Pedro Ximenez. This room has got a very high quality from the very beginning. What I think that Pedro Ximenez is giving to this room, our Pedro Ximenez of Solera of 1918, is that it's giving a sensation of sweetness of a very old age, not giving a new sensation of sweetness. It's not a new sugar inside the room, and it's inside the balance of the very old room that you put in our hands. Because sometimes when you are going to look for a solution in very old spirits, when you have the typical astringency of the age, the best solution is to look for new sugar, new fructose. And in this case, the sensation of sweetness is in the same level of age, and it's not disturbing the harmony of the room from the very beginning. And that's the reason why I feel this room inside a general harmony. From the beginning to the end, to be honest. That's what I feel, and especially the balsamic style that already has got, it's coming from Colombia, but already it's longer because it's not so dry. So it's like if you want to maintain this smooth flavor and aroma in your throat, and that's the reason why it could be easier to drink than in the style of strength cask that everybody likes. But we are here to enjoy the pleasure of the room, not to be the best drinker of the world.
And moreover, don't forget that it's the best year ever. It's the best vintage, 1976. You are agree? Ah, it's my vintage. I was born.
Well, listen, thank you very much. I think both of you incredibly talented gentlemen have done an amazing job here. Just got a question for Sylvia. It's kind of interesting that rum has very often been seen as very male, very dark, very strong in its imagery.
Old.
You're obviously very old like me. 1975, guys, I was at school. If you believe this, it's even that old, this rum. But Sylvia, you obviously are very talented sommelier. You're female. Give us your perspective from a different viewpoint on how you see this rum.
As long as all the spirits have been around, it's true what you are saying, that men are associated with this kind of liquids. But fortunately, I think that during the last decades it has changed. It is changing. And now we are able to see a lot of spirits industries headed by women, and not only spirits in the world of wine. Also, we have a lot of wineries with women in front of. I talked before with Jose Antonio that he's very proud of his wife, Laura, that has been doing a great job here in Ximenez-Spinola, and obviously she is not the one, and it's something that makes me very happy, and I hope it's only a way we just started.
I think that's great. Alex, you're obviously relatively fresh to the business. You have a very much younger perspective. What do you think about the appeal of this rum, not only to traditional collectors and investors, but to females? What do you think, a younger generation will think of this?
Sure. I mean, the younger generations, when you're looking at the Two Masters collection as a whole, it offers such a big variety with I think it's 10 expressions editions now. There's such a big variety of different collaborations and different finishes that it's hard not to really love. I'd also like to mention, as well as saying congratulations to Jose Antonio and Hernán for this wonderful liquid. We haven't mentioned that the barrels behind us are the actual barrels from this edition, for this current release, and also for one which will follow. And I think it's the dark spirits as a whole. We've got whiskey, of course, which in my age bracket, people are becoming more and more attracted to that, starting to have the lowest needs on the rocks. And rum is in fact picking up, and little by little it will also get there. It's just about kind of educating the younger generations and putting it out there that yes, in fact, there are rums which are as high quality as the brands that we're competing with, in whether it's the whiskey or cognac market.
I think that's absolutely correct. Hopefully we have some questions. We've talked an awful lot. We'd like to give the audience your chance to ask us anything that's coming through. Alex, are there any questions that are coming through the chat?
There are some questions. First of all, thank you for the contribution to the questions in the chat box, and I will read them out in the following order. The first one is for you, Jose Antonio, and it is, what makes Ximenez-Spinola the quintessential sherry partner? What is their philosophy, and what makes this sherry different and better than others?
Well, the word quintessential is a great word, possibly more than we have been making. But to be honest, we are unique. We are unique because we are focusing in Pedro Ximenez grapes, because we are not only making Pedro Ximenez like other winery, but we are specialists and making different type of wines that nobody is making. And we have been making this since 1729 in my same family. Silvia was speaking about Laura, and Laura has been very important to have our own appellation to certificate the wines that are not inside the sherry winemaking area that you can make with Pedro Ximenez. Today we have been drinking some of them. Well, this specialist way, this very concrete knowledge for us is useful, but has been useful as well for the product, for the final product. And this matter is not so far about the philosophy that we share. We are families, we are small companies, we are focused in quality. We are making very small productions, always number production, every bottle has got a concrete edition. So for us, to get the hand of Dictador in this matter has been very easy, because we are sharing a lot of matters, a lot of points, not only in the philosophy of the company, but in the feelings and in the soul of the property. So, to be honest, it's very easy to join us, and because it is very easy, because it's not so difficult, I think it's useful to be part of this.
Sure. I think it's wonderful synergies, and it's without a doubt one of my personal favourites. Ken, the next question is for you, and the question is this a good investment opportunity?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I've been involved in the investment spirits business for almost a quarter of a century, and obviously deeply involved in the rise of Macallan for about 20 years. But the thing about it is this has got all the hallmarks of what makes a great investment, great brand. The thing about it is it's highly distinctive, it's very limited in number. I think the liquid is just quite simply astonishing. I compliment my dear friends Hernan and Jose Antonio on the great job they've done in this. And the other thing about it is, you know, for me it's one to buy a bottle to enjoy, because it's too good to sit in the glass. And the second one is absolutely buy a bottle, sit on it. And for me, this is a great investment to be under, for a rum of this age, of this craft, of this quality, to be under 1,000, to be under €1,000 at 960 euros a bottle, to be honest, is quite astonishing. So for me, would I buy a bottle? Yes.
If not two, right? One to consume and one to collect, if possible, of course.
As long as I can ask my wife's permission to buy 2 bottles, I'm fine with that. Yeah. If she agrees, I'll buy 2.
But maybe we have to say to our guests that they have to be quick, because if you have told us there's only 390 decanters of these Dictador 2 Masters Ximenez-Spinola. And for the price of, you have said, no, 960 euros.
I think we sold
so
out.
You have to be quick, otherwise.
I think we sold out the Royal Tokai version in 3 days. So
wow.
Guys, this is going to go very quickly.
And
so
I think that your wife will allow, but cannot drink.
But she likes Dictador, Hernan. That would be painful for her. But anyway, but Alex, any more questions? Anybody else?
Yes, no, they are. And thank you, Ken, for your answer. The next question is for you, Hernan.
Yes.
Why did you choose Ximenez-Spinola and not any other brand in the area?
Well, as Jose Antonio said, one of the things that are more important for us is a company, is a family company, has the perfect size and has fantastic product. To be honest, I think if somebody in the audience has tried the sherries from Ximenez-Spinola and had tried Dictador, can imagine how good these two together can be. So it was not a difficult decision. I know there are so many good sherries out there, but we found out that the perfect match for us was Ximenez-Spinola, and I'm very thankful. And I'm really thankful because it to taking us and to having the time to spend with us, and and come up with this fantastic new edition.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. The next question is from Jimenez. Thank you very much, Drew. And this one's for Jose Antonio. What are the specifics of the casks that you picked and used?
Well, these casks that we have, as you know, they are a very old casks that we have been sharing with special customers. We always have been calling these casks the single barrels. They were, from the very beginning, important for us because they are French oak. They're coming from Cognac. They are casks of 300 liters. So the level of oxidation of each cask is very high. This is a good point to avoid the alcoholic sensation. As you know, where you have an evaporation and a space, possibly you lose a little of product, but sometimes it's useful and sometimes it's good if you want to achieve a smoother sensation. And as well, we were expecting to have the feelings and the aromas of Pedro Ximenez, but we were looking for the French oak because it's not so in the vanilla style of the American oak, because already the room has got a lot of vanilla.
Yeah.
I think you have been aging this room in American.
Yes, for a long time.
So, in my opinion, was not the best idea to have more American. So we thought to use French oak with a large evolution of Pedro Jimenez very on inside. And this barrels because for a lot of years, all the products that we have been aging in these old barrels have been top quality. So we have been preparing these barrels 1 year before of the arrival of your room, and after the arrival 1 year aging your room here. That's the reason, and the result is in the way that we were looking for.
Exactly. So I guess everything worked out to plan.
Yeah.
Drew, I hope that answered your question. And we've got one final question that we've got time for, and it's to both Jose Antonio and for Hernan. How did the Pedro Jimenez change the taste of the profile of the rum?
Jose Antonio.
First of all, for good.
I think that it's very difficult to stop the evolution in your mouth of this type of rum. It's impossible. It's very powerful. It's very intense. In my opinion, only if this is a pleasure, you could have a longer pleasure making a smoother rum. Pedro Jimenez make a smoother rum. But it's impossible to stop this expression in your mouth, in your throat, in your aftertaste. It's impossible. You know, we can help a little, but already everything is made.
No, let me tell you something very interesting that I can resume from your previous intervention, is that about the sweetness that is added with the high-end sugary sherry. And then I was thinking, of course, if you just add, I don't know, sugar, the thing is that it will change the taste in terms of more sweetness without any changing in the flavor, and no aromas, because the sugar don't give any aromas. So when you just add sugar, it's actually for us such an old rum would be kind of stupid to add just sugar. But adding the heavy and complex sweetness of a sherry, of a very old sherry, makes the rum smoother, makes the rum with the nice sweet touch of this Christmas cake that I find around of the prawns, of the raisins. Really beautiful. I think it changed.
I have to say as well, if you allow me now, that it's a very good point here. We don't use any sugar. Everything is fructose directly from the grapes. This point made a very natural combination. Of course, as I told you, this rum is very powerful, that it's sometimes difficult to find the point of sugar that you could put inside. So just a year, not thinking in a quantity, but thinking in a time, in the time. Just a year has been perfect. And this evolution is not a question of grams of sugar, it's a question of time.
It's the question of the rum extracting the flavors.
Yeah.
Not like adding sugar.
Let me say that it's a perfect balanced all together, the sugar, the alcohol, the flavors, the aromas, all is perfect balance. So you are linking history, culture, and moreover you are improving a product. You are linking different ways to do things, but in a perfect manner that leads to this kind of products that sommeliers like me are so happy to taste.
Today I read a sign in the restaurant that says, to be universal, you have to be very local.
Yeah.
And that's why the traveling of the rum to new premises is totally different than bringing your barrels to our place. That's giving a whole world.
I think it's been an amazing session. Thank you very much for everyone involved. I think you've taken the investment grade quality of sherry influenced spirits to a different level with what we have. I think you've both done an amazing job. It's great to see my co-presenters also chip in here. So I think what I'll do is just pass over to Sylvia for a couple of final words, and then we will leave you. But thank you very much for your time, everyone on the call.
I only have to say thank you all very much for attending. And obviously, thank you very much, José Antonio, to receive us here at your home. Hernan, thank you for the wonderful tasting and the wonderful product we have here. Alex, thanks for giving us your opinion and your job with Dictador. And I think we have one very important thing to do before saying goodbye. That it's raise our glasses and cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Salud.
Salud.
Salud.